Coder, and just for I'm going to show you how to solve the max consecutive ones Leetcode coding problem. So given a binary array, nums, return the maximum number of consecutive ones in the array. So here we have an array of integers 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, and the output is 3. The explanation states that the first 2 digits or the last 3 digits are consecutive ones. The maximum number of consecutive ones is 3. So here I'm going to solve this Leetcode coding problem using the Go programming language, and I'm going to use an inner for loop. So basically what I'll do here is that I'll create 2 variables, a max variable to keep track of the maximum number of ones and a counter variable to count the actual number of ones. Outside of the inner for loop, I'm going to reset the counter variable to 0. And I'm going to continue to keep track of the maximum number of variables inside my inner array. So first I'm going to start out by creating 2 variables called max and count. Max is just going to keep track of the maximum number of the maximum number set of ones. Now I'm going to create my for loop. Now I'm going to initialize that to 0. We're going to iterate through to the other array. Now I'm going to have a conditional statement. So with my conditional statement, I'm going to say that if I find a 1, I'm going to initialize that to the start of my inner array. So here in this first iteration, for example, J will be initialized to 0 because we have a 1 at the 0 index. And this is my inner loop. We're going to iterate through the remaining values. Now I'm going to have a conditional statement that I'm going to have a conditional statement that states that, hey, if I don't find a 1, we need to break out of the loop. So I write that conditional statement here. So this basically states that if we do not find a 1 at the next index, then we need to break out of the loop. So for example, with this, it will break out of the loop at the second index, 0, 1, and 2. Else, we need to count the number of ones first. And now we need to store the maximum number, the set of ones for this iteration. Now, when we find a 0 or anything that's not a 1, we need to break out of the loop. So here in X2, we're going to break out of the loop. And each time we break out of the loop, we need to reset the counter variable because we're counting each set of 1. We count each one as a set. Now I'm going to return the max. And I need to wrap this in an integer value because I initialized max to a floating 60-point number. So I'm going to wrap this in an integer. And this is going to convert the float into an int. Then we're going to run this. And I'm going to submit. So the code didn't compile because I had num instead of nums. So here our problem has ran and the solution is correct. And the solution is, the runtime of the solution is 2,839 milliseconds and it's faster than 5.15% of the Go online submission. So I hope that you appreciate this video. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day.